Welcome everybody to Cloud Innovators Live. I'm Brian Krasik and I have with me MATRIXX. I have Marc and André. Marc, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Marc Price. I'm the CTO with MATRIXX.
And I'm André Gunnberg. I'm the CRO for MATRIXX.
Love it. Hey guys, thanks for the partnership. Thanks for being here. It's pretty great. Tell me a little bit more about MATRIXX and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so MATRIXX is a rating and charging company. We're supporting new monetization models in telecom, and we're really happy to be doing that with Google. Part of what makes us unique is that we're actually a cloud-native solution, so taking advantage of the Google Cloud to provide our operators both cost reduction, operational agility, and support new business models, driving innovation into the cloud is really exciting for MATRIXX.
Well, cloud-native, microservices, being more agile, getting some operational costs out of the business is critical because our operators need to do that. André, what are you seeing as some of the use cases that you guys are solving for?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of focus on the operational cost for sure. So that's what's driving a lot of the collaboration we have with Google. You know, the operators wants to save money. But on the use case side, we also see that 5G is continuing to be a great enabler for new services and how they're going to monetize this. And they can't live with legacy. The legacy charging billing functions just doesn't support that kind of new innovation. So that still is a growing market and will continue to evolve. But on the other side, we also see on the enterprise side, you know, there's a lot of new competition in the field, right? So the telcos are focusing a lot around what to do with enterprise. Improve self-service, be better to serve their own customers. So those are a couple of the key trends we see in the telcos that we are working on.
So you talked a little bit about legacy, but this isn't just a lift and shift kind of thing. Legacy is coming in all different forms here. How are you tackling that?
Yeah, well, it's a big challenge. So one of the things that MATRIXX does uniquely is we're solving those challenges with very large workloads and with very low latency. So this is unusual to deal with this as a cloud challenge. It's unusual to deal with this as a software challenge overall. We've worked with Google to help to engineer our solution so we can handle the largest operators on the planet. We're supporting billions of transactions a day in some cases, and extremely low latency, meaning this is a real-time solution. So the information that we're collecting is immediately made available to use by engagement systems and available for visibility directly to systems and users. That's a real challenge, and it's one that's very exciting to solve because it actually supports the new business models that are increasingly desiring real-time availability of the data to use for all sorts of new business purposes.
So data challenges are absolutely an issue. And then how do you cleanse that data when you make it available? So that leads into a lot of conversations I think we have with operators around your data and cleansing it and what's allowed to be shared, what's not allowed to be shared. Are we handling that? How are you looking at that?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So one of the major things that we have addressed, and this is extremely important, you're absolutely right for the confidence of a solution like this in the cloud, is to have secure data. When you talk about cleansing, the removal of any personalized, identifiable information from anywhere where that data could be gleaned from any source, right? So data is encrypted. We, again, primarily work with the data as it's being moved, as opposed to data at rest. But all data as it's being moved, of course, is 100% secure, and all data at rest is being stored securely as well. Part of what we're doing with Google is working with confidential computing in unique ways, really, to support, again, these types of telecom workloads in ways that provide confidence in the public cloud.
I think that's perfect, and let's come back to the agility piece. So André, you talked about 5G. We hear a lot about 5G, the promise of 5G. I think some rollouts are still slow to come, but new 5G services are coming and being more agile. What's the time frame that you're seeing with your customers?
You know, the time frame will be different in different geographies, I think, you know. So we see movements in let's say, Europe coming next year, some are early, like our joint customer, Telefonica Germany, right? They're an early adopter, and we're doing great stuff there. But I think the only thing we know for certain is that we don't know what the killer service will be yet, because it's still evolving. They don't really know yet what the 5G service is and the really killer application, let's say, will be, but we know it will be a trial and fail kind of momentum. And to be able to really be in the right position, to have that agility, to be able to try it out, test it, and see if it works or not, you need that agility in the system. So that's what we are enabling.
Is it going to be enough? We've been to this what is the next killer app conversation before.
Yeah.
Many years ago. I think we've all been in the industry a while. So is it the platform is the killer app? Is it the capabilities? Is it the speed? Do we have enough speed? Can they fail fast?
Exactly, and I think you need to have the agility to be able to fail fast and try out again. I think the promise of the 5G capabilities around slicing and around private network, these are the things that they really believe, the telcos believe will be good revenue streams going forward. But how that service is going to be constructed, set up, and be automated to be able to monetize, and what to monetize it upon are still to be determined. So that's what we are helping them out.
So you mentioned a really key word in there. It's called automated. So to gain the operational efficiency we discussed and to get automated is what allows you some of that agility. So I think that's pretty critical. Are there any special things you're doing around automation that's going to help the CSPs get to this level in this next state for velocity?
Quite a lot, actually. So 5G, many people don't realize, is largely about workloads in the cloud. This is actually key. So really, when you talk about the conversation, what is the killer app going to be, which is often the question, this is actually the wrong question. What 5G is about is it's not about finding a single killer app. It actually is positioning this industry, the telecommunications industry, and quite frankly, any enterprise that's going to make use of this sort of an access network to drive new services, to be able to support new models, new business models, new monetization models, and automation of those models really with any workload that's imaginable. So we've moved away from thinking that, let's say, voice is a killer app, communications is a killer app, video is a killer app, broadband is a killer app. Now we're thinking if every device is connected and every device has a capability to support some sort of a business model somewhere in the world, then you have to think about how do I drive forward a seamless way to onboard those devices, use those devices. By the way, not all of these are human-centric devices. Many of these are machine-centric as well. So IoT very much falls into this category.
Which comes back to your scale and security once again.
It does.
Because it's not about the 7 billion people, it's about the 100 billion devices and things.
You're right. There's orders of magnitude more, which comes back to automation. So automation is absolutely essential. There is no way to manage that type of workload in a dynamic way. This isn't just onboarding something and you're done. It's not just simply getting a bill at the end of the month and you're done. It's actually dynamically coordinating the monetization models as they seamlessly are associated not only again in direct channels, but also indirect channels. So you have B to B to X in terms of businesses serving other businesses and other consumers. We've supported automation within our workflow and also with the tools that orchestrate and instrument the solution as well. And again, this is a big part of what we're doing in the cloud. Ironically, again, what 5G is largely about is not actually charging for the network events alone, but being able to monetize the instrumentation of the solution itself. So if you set up a slice, as André said, or if you set up an environment suited for a small or a medium business, how is that going to be charged differently than supporting an environment which is tailored specifically for a set of devices or a large business?
So easier setup, not necessarily the engineering effort that we've seen in the past, more automated, easier, more of them, and then getting that conversation going on the enterprise and selling more of that. So, hey, what's our secret sauce? We have a good partnership here. We've won multiple deals. You're a big part of that. What's happening between us, and can we accelerate things?
Well, I think the whole trend is going towards, 2 years ago it was, is it really possible to run charging on the public cloud, right? So we had to overcome that. That's now moving along, right? We have a couple of customers. We have Telefonica Germany. We just announced TELUS together a few months ago, so that's a great 2 wins for us. But there's much more potential here, right? Both in regards to new operators and new market, but also how we can leverage the MATRIXX platform for more, let's say, intelligence and leveraging AI and machine learning capabilities out of Google and using our commercial data to learn more about the customer. So I think we need to take a step further in not just seeing it as an infrastructure play, but as a business play, right? So that's kind of where we are focusing a lot with your peers and colleagues in Google now.
Well, we're excited about the partnership. We're excited about the wins we've had together. And I want to thank you guys for joining us. And that's it for now on Cloud Innovators for Telecommunications.